What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. It's been an eventful Friday, to say the least. I got a new mummy update for you all. Okay, so there was a video that came out and dropped of Jois Mantilla with people at Ica University putting mummy Maria inside a case with protections and all. The Ministry of Culture suddenly made the decision to go to Ica University, take Maria, and initially we thought it was Victoria, which is one of the 60 centimeter ones, but it wasn't Victoria, it was Wawita, which is the 2-year-old that is like Maria, the M type. The ones that Mr. Maussan and Mr. Jois Mantilla call hybrids, which I still do not agree with. I think they may have information that makes them say that, but I haven't seen any compelling data that makes me think they are hybrids. So, here's the video. Okay, so as you may realize, everybody who is pro mummies was scared out of their minds because, just to give you a quick update on the Ministry of Culture's actions lately and since 2017, they have gone out of their way to say that the mummies are not only fake, but that Mr. Jamin Maussan and Mr. Jois Mantilla don't have real bodies over in Mexico. And they've been the main obfuscators of the entire case. People in other countries have always tried to listen to what they have to say about the mummies, and they position themselves saying that the mummies are constructed dolls, modern constructed dolls. In previous days, you guys have seen how Mr. Thierry Jamin and Mr. Steve Mera have gone back and forth against each other, claiming one thing and claiming another. According to the data that I have, there is evidence of this email sent by one of Mr. Mera's associates, sending that letter of intent from Sonar Entertainment that was already leaked on Reddit, so I can say it. This letter of intent wanted rights and exclusivity to cover the mummies and a Von Daniken docuseries called Chariots of the Gods. This email came from an email that Mr. Thierry Jamin says it came from one of Mr. Mera's associates. He has screen grabs of these emails, and I suspect that since Mr. Thierry Jamin spoke to Psicoactivo, he also did another 2 subsequent interviews, and that coincidentally accelerated the process from the Ministry of Culture. Cut to this Friday when the ministry took the bodies to a local hospital near Ica to an X-ray specialist to perform X-rays on both of the bodies. People were scared. They thought that the bodies would get lost. But then Mr. Jois Mantilla released a document where both parties agreed that the bodies were going to be taken to the hospital and then back to Ica. We waited for a few hours and then we got an update. The bodies were safely returned to Ica. which means that the Ministry of Culture kept their word. As far as we are in the story right now, this is good news with the mummies case, because if you guys saw what Mr. Lou Elizondo said recently, the case has been handled so sloppily that a lot of people were not happy with the way it was handled, and many of them didn't even pay attention to it due to some of the people associated with the case, such as Mr. Maussan and people associated with him. Gaia, I am not saying anything against Maussan. I'm not saying anything against Gaia. I'm just saying that there is a perception in American and Five Eyes ufology of Mr. Maussan's reputation. This is something that he needs to address. I don't need to address it. I don't really care. I'm just stating the facts. So, when the bodies were returned, we got an update from Jois Mantilla from inside the hospital where the x-rays were taken. Mantilla claims that the x-ray specialist who is from the hospital, not from the Ministry of Culture, from the hospital, said that he looked at the both of the body's feet and hands, which are tridactyl, and he said that there is no sign of tampering with the feet and the hand of these two bodies. This is what Jois Mantilla says. Here's the video.
Good afternoon, friends. I am broadcasting from the city of Ica. I have just arrived at the headquarters of the University Vice-Chancellor's office, and I want to inform you that I have good news for you. As established in the document sent by the Ministry of Culture, the decentralized culture department of Ica complied with the protocol, and the memes are back here at the Vice-Chancellor's office.
Here they are again in their custody location. Here is the sealed one. It has already been sealed for security.
Here you can see the date, September 13th, and we simply have to record that the mummies are in their location. They are in their location, and what was initially established for their analysis has been complied with.
The Ministry of Culture requested permission from the Vice-Chancellor to be able to carry out X-ray analysis, tomography, and, well, they have carried out what they have done, and they are now in the custody of the University of Ica again.
This is good news, considering that there were obviously suspicions that it could be a strategy for what they did not achieve through the seizure orders through the public prosecutor's office, and it could have
been achieved in this way, but that was not the case. We are in a position to say that this was a procedure in which the bodies were taken away, accompanied by university personnel and also security personnel from here who accompanied the procedure the entire time.
We have an audio-visual record of what happened, of the entire procedure, even during the journey, and they went as far as the headquarters of the health center. It is a large hospital, a public hospital, and I have had contact with the radiologist who was in charge of taking the X-rays and the CT scans. I will keep the name of this radiologist confidential, however. We have to say that he is obviously a very qualified professional, one of the best in the region here in Ica. And by directing and performing the tomographies and being able to have radiological access, he has realized something that has caught his attention: the great state of preservation of the internal organs of the mummies, and in addition he has not noticed any mutilations in the hands or feet of Mary, something that most people who follow this case clearly already have very clear.
But it is interesting that new radiologists and credentialed personnel can continue to affirm and reaffirm what we know is evidently a fact.
This radiologist was surprised by the state of preservation of the internal organs of the bodies, and as I was saying, he found no mutilation. He only saw one whole body, which, by the way, as strange as its limbs may seem, are authentic. They are original.
And he's going to have to write a report. This report hopefully contains what I am telling you and reporting to you at this moment. This report will be sent to the Ministry of Culture, and then we will see what other steps they will take, because it is clearly a unique case, a discovery in this exceptional region. And well, he has also noticed some anomalies that do not exist in human bodies. It is very interesting, and I will be delighted to see the report they present, because he have even found that the lengths of some of the main bones, the longest bones, exceed the dimensions of what is known in a human body. The truth is that it is an interesting fact that we want to confirm. We will also ask our experts to verify it and make measurements and inventory, let's say, of each of the bones.
The thing is that at this moment we are quite calm because the diligence has been confirmed. The Ministry of Culture, now headed by a new minister, has complied with the procedures established in the document and the letter requesting this procedure.
The university arrived on Monday of this week, Monday the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, Monday the 9th at 9:12 in the morning, and promptly requested to do X-rays on it to determine if it is a national heritage.
I trust that this will obviously give you enough information so that you can put an end to the differences and discrepancies regarding the nature and originality of these bodies, especially that of Maria, which is one of the most surprising, the most studied, and about which research works by scientists have even been presented, shared not only by professors
from this university, but also by researchers from the Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos. So I'm going to ask Dr.
Edgar Hernandez to join us for a minute so he can give us some details of what happened today and his impressions regarding what we have now.
Dr. Hernandez, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Yes, indeed. Today, yes. Let's continue.
Today we had the good, as I was saying, today here at the Vice Rectorate for Research at the San Luis Gonzaga de Ica University.
We had a visit from members of the Ministry of Culture with a document, a letter that they had sent to the Vice-Chancellor,
so that they could take 2 of the mummies so that he could make 1. Some radiological and tomographic studies were carried out, and, well, the Vice-Rector accepted them and the mummies were transported. But we, as an organization, also took the precaution of having our staff, almost 5 or 6 people, including those who spoke, as well as our own transportation, to be able to guard and prevent this from being some kind of strategy for them to be able to confiscate the bodies that we have known for some time that they wanted to do.
Well, it would have been a scandal if, in the midst of this lawsuit filed against the Ministry of Culture for defamation and everything they have done over the years, they had committed an act that was outside the law. That is, it would really be shooting themselves in the foot, because if they hadn't stayed, let's say they would
Have put a noose around their necks and kicked.
It would have been really wrong. But I also understood that in their desperation, which they have already demonstrated, of wanting to have it to take over the place as it is, it could have suddenly been a desperate, extreme, daring action, obviously, because they were against the law. I believe that here at the university we also took all the precautions. For example, the document that confirmed that they took it and had to return it was signed in advance. I think that part also helped a lot, so that they already had the legal commitment through a private document that they had to bring again.
Perfect. It seems to me that one thing we have noticed in the letter that the Ministry of Culture sent here to the Vice-Chancellor,
Is that they are aware of doubts and suspicions about his actions, and they put it in writing.
because of the suspicions that may exist regarding illegal behavior, we give them such guarantees, and they even set the schedules and what the procedure will be and what they will do when they return to their place of origin. That's true?
Yes, of course, everything has been fulfilled. It was fulfilled. Everything was fulfilled because we also demanded it.
Of course. Okay, well, so the Nazca Mummies have returned to their original place. Here they are behind. We know that we have seen.
That they have been placed, and there is also photographic and film evidence, and that this entire process was carried out in compliance with the agreements that had been made.
Perfect. So with this I leave you, I think, quite calm. There are dozens of messages that have been arriving during my journey from Lima to Ica.
I have arrived as quickly as possible. It is more or less more than 400 kilometers from Lima to here. It is more or less 4 hours or a little less. But here we are always attentive to what may happen, and above all knowing that they are in good hands, not only of Professor Zuniga, Dr.
Hernandez, but also the entire team from the University of Ica that has in its hands this extraordinary discovery that will bring them many surprises in a few days and in a few more weeks.
Dr. Hernandez, a few final words, please.
Yes, I thank the journalist Mantilla, who I believe is the only one who is covering all the details of the events that are happening with the mummies of Nazca of Ica, which are here at the University of San Luis Gonzaga, and the interested public as well. We will soon have more news. We already have a scientific article published, and I have just sent another article to another journal and it seems to me that the scientific world is more open to these issues, and that there will soon be more surprises.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I'll leave you. The dolls are in good hands. I'm going to continue with my activities.
Thanks. See you next time.
That was a long one, but that's the gist of it. And all I gotta say to that is that we have to wait until the Ministry of Culture issues an official statement. But I've been speaking to Mr. Thierry Jamin, and he told me that they were really scared when it all went down because they thought that the bodies were gonna be stolen or something, and we would never see the bodies again, especially Maria, because she's like at the very center of this whole investigation, Maria. So Thierry was happy of the outcome, that the bodies were returned to Ica, and he told me specifically that he would demand for the Ministry of Culture to not only release the statement, but also release the data they used to investigate the mummies, so that we can get clarity on what they believe the bodies are now. But this is where we stand. The Ministry of Culture took action, and so far it seems they are acting in good faith. This is where we stand now. Hopefully we get more updates in the future, in the near future. But this is very important, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what did you think when you saw that the bodies were being taken, to those following the case. And please let me know what you think about Mr. Jois Mantilla's update right here, that Mr. Gonzalo Chavez took the time to translate for all of you. So thank you, Gonzalo, for that. And yeah, let me know what you think about the whole overall case. Do you still stand with the people that claim that the mummies are fake? Or has your mind changed over the last few months with the coverage that I've done and the coverage that other channels have done? Mr. Jack from Cosmic Road has done incredible coverage. Patrick has done some incredible coverage at Vetted. He's done a couple of streams with me, but he's given it the seriousness that the case deserves. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about the coverage that people from the English-speaking community have done so far. And also let me know what you think about Mr. Mera's position in all of this, and these emails that Mr. Thierry Jamin says that he has, that I've seen too. I haven't shared them because I think that some of these emails, there are some email addresses there that could be personal information of people who are involved in the case. And I really don't want to share any personal information about anybody. So we need to find a way to let people know where these emails come from, that they do come from one of Mr. Mera's associates, and how this letter of intent from Sonar Entertainment wanted this exclusivity. We need to find out the timelines of when this exclusivity was demanded and denied, requested and denied, and when the first documentary from Mera came that claims the mummies were real, if this was before the emails were denied, and if it has anything to do with Mr. Mera's change of heart with the mummies, because we know that he became one of the case's biggest detractors. And unfortunately, a lot of people within ufology who respect Mera have kept the same narrative as well and supported his claims. Again, I don't have anything against anybody in here. I'm just presenting the facts as they are. I still don't position myself saying that these mummies are real, fake, constructions, hybrids, whatever. I'm just trying to look at the facts. There is compelling data that comes from Dr. Celestino Piotti in his book. There is compelling data that suggests that the larger bodies are real, but I can't take a position yet because we need for scientific papers to come out and the results of these studies from a secret scientist group that doesn't want to become public until they come out with their findings. They are leaning towards these being ancient constructions. I do gotta say that. But there's no final assessment yet. We need to wait. But this is an interesting development. So if you like the content you see, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Keep commenting. I try to answer everything I can. Keep sharing on any platform you can. YouTube loves this. And please like and subscribe. Most of you who are watching the videos, I can see that you are not subscribed, so please subscribe and share it with like-minded people if you think this has any value to the overall UFO topic and ancient civilizations and all that. So without further ado, I'll see you guys until Monday with a new video. Thank you and good night. Bye.